Right, a very warm welcome back. If you've just joined us, we're at Constitution Hill today, and that's the venue for the latest in the series of New Age Business Briefings brought to you by the SABC, and today sponsored by JSC Mining. And we're talking empowerment of women, but importantly, a intergenerational conversation that's taken place between the generation of 1976 and the youth of 2016, and we'd like you to be part of that conversation as well. We've heard just before the break from the Minister responsible for women in the Presidency, Susan Shabangu, and I'm going to hear now from our panelists that were also part of that intergenerational conversation that took place right here yesterday, and one of those members was the current CEO of the Women's Development Bank Trust, Totsie Memela. So you sit in a unique position in that you were there, 76, you fought during the struggle, and you have then gone and succeeded in life and in business, but also are raising the next generation of young women. And I just wonder, from the conversation that happened yesterday, how similar are some of the struggles that you went through at that time that your children are bringing through to you now?
It's interesting when one reflects to note that some of the struggles may be similar, but others are very different, in a sense that we live in a techno age, as the kids sometimes refer to us as the BBCs, which is born before computers and technology. But what I find quite exciting, again because of the intergeneration, is that we have a lot to learn from the young people, yet we have things that I believe we need to continue to, and that we can impart, so that they don't have to make the mistakes that we've made. And I know that it becomes interesting as you journey through life as a young person, because your view is, leave me alone, let me make my own mistakes. But some of the mistakes are mistakes that we understand as people that have been through that life, that it's not mistakes you have to make, because you can skip through that, just like as nations in the continent, we can skip through certain challenges because of technology. And that's the exciting opportunity we have to continue to engage. I believe that we used to dialogue more as a nation, even in terms of our streets. We used to have street communities where younger people used to dialogue with older people. And I don't think we do that enough now. We need to ensure that much as we bridge the gap between the young and the old, the young should also bridge the gap between those that are in urban areas and those that are in the rural areas. Because when you look at the challenges that the rural poor continue to face, it's much, much different from some of the challenges that young people face today. So some are different, others are extremely similar. Yeah. And it's for us to reach out to each other, because it's only together that we can succeed.
We will make those comparisons. What I've learned, that if you want to dialogue with the youth now, you've got to form a WhatsApp group. That's what you've got to do. All right, so Akhona, you are South Africa now. You are the future, and I suppose that comes partly with responsibility. I don't want to use the word burden, but we do look to you. And I'm just wondering, as you sat having this conversation yesterday, sometimes as an older generation, we kind of want to keep forcing the past upon you and wanting you to carry our flag and our issues with you. Tell me your sense of what came out of the conversation yesterday, and what did you learn from it as a person who has to navigate a future that's still unfolding?
Thank you, Peter. Good morning, everybody. From the conversation yesterday, and I think the interesting location of where we're at, it came across that in as much as the generation of 1976 had issues, and I think the minister just mentioned the issue of patriarchy. As young female leaders in South Africa today, which is the new South Africa, we're still dealing with patriarchy. And the challenges that we are facing today, in as much as they were different, but there are similarities. And I think from the dialogue that we had yesterday, there's lessons that we've learned as young females that really it is upon us to ensure that that generation fought in terms of access, where they were prohibited from even entering university. Our generation, we're fighting access in the form of financing, the issues around sexual harassment and rape of young females in South Africa. And I think those lessons come from, they fought a certain role and they took the baton. I mean, for us, we've taken it and we're flying the South African flag to say that as young female leaders, we are able and we have the capabilities to lead South Africa. Many of the marches in the past with regards to women marching to the Union building, those are the lessons, and that's what we take as young South Africans to say that we do have that fire within us to ensure that South Africa is a better country for all to live in, young and old.
Okay, so great opening thoughts. We'll explore some of the themes that you raised just now, but one that's coming through quite strongly is patriarchy. And, 76, Joy, you probably wouldn't have been allowed to even study electrical engineering, let alone the science subjects. So you have this opportunity, and yet I know that in the workplace, this patriarchy still continues, doesn't it? Share your experience with us.
Yeah, I am a part of the technical program. Yeah, I started attending the technical program in 2010, where I was based in a company called Automotive Industrial Development Center in Roslyn. At first, I didn't know what I wanted to do after my matric, but after the program and the mentorship from that program, I was able to identify a career for myself. That's when I realized that office is not my thing. I like to be out there and explore. So after that, I realized that engineering is for me. Then I started attending electrical engineering at Tshwane South College, where I completed my theoretical part and now do my internship in a company called Direct Tech. It's based in Randburg. At first, it wasn't easy for me to cope in a male-dominated environment, but through mentorship and my parents, I was able to cope. And even now, I still struggle, but I try by all means to fit in that particular place.
What are some of the things that men do when you're working together side by side that they may not even realize they're doing, but they treat you differently, don't they?
Yeah, they do treat me differently, because you'll find that we have to pull a big cable, then they will say, no, you stay aside, we'll do this.
Okay.
So but at some point I feel bad, because for me to learn, it's for me to do the actual thing. You've got to
do the pulling as well.
Yeah. So, the most important thing is to respect yourself, because most of the people will take advantage of you. Some will try their lucks on you, but most important is to respect yourself.
All right. Fantastic. Well, we've got a cross-section here on the panel, but also in the audience, and we're going to go through there, and I really want to hear from you as well at home. Morning Live SABC, at Morning Live SABC, hashtag TNA BizBrief. We'll be right back after this break, and we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.